46 years.
3 beloved isles.
1 beloved station, Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart.
The soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 29th day of July 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. The roads are wet this morning, so again, you need to adjust your driving to suit the conditions under which you are driving. Wet roads means that you have to give yourself a little bit more space in terms of stopping distance. Your visibility is likely to be reduced, especially when the rain is coming down, despite the fact that all of you should have working windshield wipers on your cars. And so you have to be extra cautious when you're driving under inclement weather conditions. And remember, if you do so, then the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. And I remind you that For the Record birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. And they remind you not to take chances with your future. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, for the record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. So again, I remind you that the birthday shout-out between 7:30 and 7:45 proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. Sorry. And they remind you not to take chances with your family's future. So let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Jarilath, I believe that's the way it's pronounced, Sheridan, celebrating a birthday today. Also, Richard Greaves is celebrating a birthday today. Yesterday, Bridget Thompson celebrated her birthday, so I want to wish her a belated happy birthday as well. And also today, Miriam is celebrating a birthday, and happy birthday greetings are coming from Marva and the Jam K family, wishing you a happy birthday today. So that is Miriam from Marva and the Jam K family, wishing you a happy birthday. If you know any more, have any more, please feel free to share them with us, and we will be more than happy to announce them on the radio, because it is brought to you. The birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Randall Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center. Remember what they tell you, right? Don't take chances with your family's future. This morning, we have another one here. Let me find this. Okay, Miss Amy Gold, celebrating her 95th birthday as well. The Queen Amy Gold, she's celebrating a birthday. And of course, Miss Amy is a huge fan of Radio Cayman as well, and a big fan of Miss Susan Watson also. So, so we want to wish Miss Amy a happy 95th birthday to her as well. And there's a message that reads, Miss Susan, we have to get this little telephone here change. It says, thank you for your love and sacrifices. We celebrate you as awesome, as we celebrate your blessed milestone and cherished every precious moment you are with us. God bless you and keep you healthy and strong, Mom. We love you. Yes, we need to get a new, so it says she's, you're awesome, blessed, and milestones, and cherish every precious moment you are with us. So, Miss Amy, big shout out to you this morning. And of course, Miriam from Marva and the Jam K family as well. Okay, before we go to the commercial break, I want to let you know that your favorite guest is in the studio with me this morning. Everyone talks about, we love it when Dr. Macfield is on the show. He knows so much. He has such a memory, and of course, he also is a strong role model for many Caymanians, because they admire the fact that you speak your mind, and you care so much about Cayman and where Cayman should go as well. So, Doc, good morning and welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, too, and good morning to all your listeners in the For the Record land and all the people Caymanians in the Cayman diaspora, and all those who listen to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's good to be back here. Yeah, of course, I guess I have now become a public figure. I'm honored to be such a public importance that comedians can use satire on stage to characterize me. So even that, I'm humble to see that my knowledge of my environment, my people, and other peoples affect so many people. That's what I'm honored. But I still prefer Mark Twain's satire. Yes, I still prefer Mark Twain's satire. But I'm so happy that I have at last risen in the country where I am, where I am now, a public satire that I can be I can be characterized on the stage. Myself and Mr. the Honorable Roy Borden, and I think that I never knew that would happen to me in my lifetime. That I'm subject of a
yeah, that only comes about during rundown, but we'll talk a little bit about that because there are some persons who have a different view on it, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So before we go to the commercial break, we just want to mention one more birthday, and this person is celebrating their birthday tomorrow, Mr. Aaron Taylor. He's attending university in Oklahoma in the United States. So, Aaron Taylor, happy birthday to you tomorrow when it comes. And we wish you well in your studies. And we hope and we trust that when you finish your studies at some point in time, you will come back to the Cayman Islands and not only share your experiences with you, but contribute to the development, continued development of the Cayman Islands as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will have a conversation with Dr. Steve McField, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
In May 1908, under Commissioner Hearst, the Government Savings Bank was established to compensate for the lack of any commercial bank. It was believed that prior to the bank's establishment, a large amount of gold was held privately and buried throughout the island for safekeeping. Initially, depositors in the new bank were offered a 2% interest on their funds, which later increased to 2.5% in 1911. In 1908, the bank had 3 depositors with total deposits amounting to £5. By 1909, this rose to 18 depositors and £90. But the Government Savings Bank proved to be attractive, and within 6 years of its inception, in 1914, deposits had grown to £554. Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
JN Money, money touchdown. Send the money now, reach wow. You say you need some money, JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Dr. Steve Macfield. Before I pass the mic over to him, I am reminded also, even though the segment for the birthday shout-outs have passed, and I want to remind people to try to get them into us before 7:30 or between 7:30 and 7:45. But we're told that Member of Parliament Dwayne John Seymour celebrated his birthday yesterday, and I'm also told that Monique Minzet is also celebrating her birthday tomorrow. So I want to wish her a happy birthday in advance. Monique Minzet celebrating her birthday tomorrow, and belated birthday greetings to MP Dwayne John Seymour on his birthday yesterday as well. So, Doc, you were talking about the satire, and some people will take things, in different lights. The comment that some of the comments that I saw and heard about it was that because of the particular occasion, and yes, there was an entertainment part of it, but in celebrating the 50th anniversary of the building of the Parliament, it's a historic occasion, and there should have been more positivity rather to the satire, if there's such a thing as having positive satire, and I believe that there is, rather than some persons who saw it, more as a negative, negative turn on two prominent members of Cayman society.
That's because we sort of act on. We seem to act by impulse, based on emotion and not reason, and that's what we usually do in Cayman. We get the impulse, emotional impulse to do this, and we do it, and then there's no reasoning as to why we do it. But Mark Twain wrote about satire character in the book that he wrote called Pudd'nhead Wilson and Those Extraordinary Twins. And he satirized the Southern aristocracy, fascism, slavery, and human nature. And one of the main characters in that satirical work from Mark Twain was a character called Roxy, a girl called Roxy. Only 1/16 of her was black, and that 16 did not show. Roxy was as white as anybody, but the 1/16 of her, which was black, outvoted the 1/15 parts that made her. But she was still a Negro, and she was a slave, and she was saleable as such. Thank God, I am not a slave, and I am not saleable. But what Mark Twain has written holds true today, that there are some people who are still mentally enslaved in this country, and they will do anything on emotions. And so I am humbled that they are using me as a public figure to satire, because it shows my importance in the country that I never had.
Your prominence,
my prominence that I never had before. So that's what I have to say about it.
But then the other side to that is, say, there's so much positivity in what you do, right? Why not accentuate the positives, especially if there's a message that you want to get across to people, especially our young people. You want to, you don't want to necessarily show the humorous side of you, but the serious side of you and the message that you seek to convey to our people.
That's because the serious side of me does not fit the model that they want to portray. And it's because I don't fit the typical colonial model, and you know that, and neither do you. Bowing and scraping for some colonial medal. That's not me. So they're not going to show that side at all, because they do not want to show that side, because that side is very detrimental to their daily and yearly and success. And so what I speak truth to power. And they don't want the ordinary person in Cayman to be speaking truth to power, because Cayman will change drastically, and a lot of people don't want it to change.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ms. Susan, we reached that top of the hour. We know that some people are anxious to call in, and we will certainly take those phone calls after we return from our 8 o'clock news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59. Looking for better prices?
You'll always find them at Foster's.
Just like Bounty Select-A-Size 6-pack, only $9.49. Save $1.50.
Or find better value on Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream. 48 ounce, just $4.49. Save 80 cents. And Distinction Sweetened Condensed Milk, $1.09. Save 40 cents.
You'll find even more great specials across the island at all Foster's locations and online at fosters.ky. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Price is good until 10th August 2022.
Voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. News is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. The Public Health Department Weekly Spotlight is out and shows an increase in some new COVID variants. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
The report says following the recent uptick in new cases reported globally over the past week, the number of new cases plateaued and the number of deaths reported has increased. Omicron continues to be the dominant variant circulating globally, with the BA.5 sublineage accounting for 54% of sequences from early July. BA.5 is indicated to lead to an increase in the number of cases, as well as hospitalization and admissions to ICU. A new subvariant of Omicron, which the World Health Organization is monitoring, is BA.2.75, which has been reported in 15 countries to date. However, it is not known yet whether this subvariant is associated with more severe outcomes. Here in Cayman, testing activity fell over the past week, and there was a decline in the detection of cases. The number of new confirmed cases declined by 21%, from 408 in Epi Week 28 to 323 in Epi Week 29. The detected case rate decreased to 466 cases per 100,000 from 588 cases per 100,000. We also saw a decline in the number of PCR tests conducted by 18% from the prior week. The Public Health Spotlight says genomic sequencing data suggests a decrease in the proportion of samples which are the BA.2 Omicron subvariant, and an increase in the BA.5, BA.4, and BE.1 Omicron subvariants. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Cayman's fire service is getting a staffing boost. CIGTV's Simon Boxall reports.
12 brave young Caymanians have begun their training to become members of the Cayman Islands Fire Service. 11 men and 1 young woman will spend the next 18 weeks receiving training in fire and rescue skills for aviation and domestic emergencies. The Cayman Islands Fire Service also recently held recruitment drives for more potential firefighters in Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac.
We're here to promote recruitment within the fire service, especially in the Sister Islands, because the applications are very low, sometimes coming in from the Sister Islands, and also to promote more females and just showcasing some of the work that we do within the fire service.
Over 200 interested persons attended the drives on the 21st and 22nd of July. Fire officers provided live demonstrations and first-hand insight on what being part of the Cayman Islands Fire Service entails. Members of the public interested in learning more about the Cayman Islands Fire Service should email cifs@gov.ky.
And the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, along with the Department of Environment, are advising the public that Garvin Park around Liars Tree in West Bay will be closed today. It'll be closed through Saturday, actually, for a, quote, sargassum cleanup trial. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Kersley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. Ukraine and Russia have accused each other of a rocket attack that's said to have killed 40 Ukrainian prisoners of war in the occupied part of Donetsk region. The Ukrainian authorities say the facility housing the prisoners was targeted by the Russians in an effort to destroy evidence of torture and killing. The Kremlin has, meanwhile, published pictures of charred bodies at the site, calling it evidence of a Ukrainian high-precision strike. President Zelensky of Ukraine has made an unannounced visit to the port of Odessa ahead of the departure of the first ship loaded with grain since the Russian invasion began 5 months ago. Today's operation is a test to see if the recent deal signed in Istanbul can work. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates say emergency teams have rescued more than 800 people following flash floods caused by torrential rains. Nearly 4,000 people in the northern Fujairah and Sharjah Emirates have been placed in temporary shelters. Climate scientists say last week's record-breaking heatwave in Britain was the direct result of human activity. They say that without man-made climate change, the unprecedented 40-degree temperatures would have been up to 4 degrees cooler. The Somali Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab has launched an attack on the town of Aato on the Ethiopian border for the second time in just over a week. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Town. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Ransomware, DDoS, malware, phishing. If you don't know what those mean, you're not alone. But if you aren't protected against those cybersecurity attacks, then your business is at risk. Don't leave your data or your business vulnerable. Get Digicel Business Protect. Simpler, smarter cybersecurity. Visit our website, www.digicelbusiness.com, to request a callback or call us now on 623-2499.
Attention drivers, hurricane season is from June 1st to November 30th. Hurricanes don't plan ahead, but you can. Get prepared at Ace with batteries, flashlights, and generators. Power a small electric stove, charge your phones, or turn on some lights. Be prepared for hurricane season. Visit our store at 11 Ashko Street, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The following is a special announcement from the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution takes place July 18th through 29th at the 6A office above number 1 shoe shop on Hospital Road Plaza. Backpacks are limited and on first come, first served basis. Members should bring identification to speed up the collection process. If you are collecting bags on behalf of another member, please bring a written signed note from that member with a copy of their ID. The Grand Cayman 6A member backpack distribution, July 18th through the 29th. The Cayman Brac backpack distribution will take place on Thursday, August 4th. The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 90%. The barometric pressure is 29.96 inches and stable. Wind is out of the southeast at 4 knots. Overnight low temperature was 74 degrees. Overnight rainfall recorded was 2.15 inches. Synopsis indicate moderate easterly winds and seas with some isolated showers and possible thunder expected around the Cayman area as an upper level low interacts with a surface trough. Cloudiness and showers are expected to decrease by this evening as the trough weakens and for the upper level low to drift west of the area. Radar images show scattered showers in and around the Cayman area drifting towards the west. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder and possible flooding of low-lying areas. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 9:37, low tide this afternoon at 3:51, and a high tide again tonight at 10:33. The sun will set this evening at 7:07 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:02. And the outlook is calling for moderate easterly winds through Monday morning.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? No, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting goals, adjust as necessary. When goal setting, anticipate ups and downs. Often it will be easier to stick to some goals than others, so allow yourself to have some flexibility in your approach and assessment. Continue to dream and adjust the end game to maintain interest and motivation. Ask yourself, is this really my goal? If it is a goal imposed by others, then consider what may be in it for you. Why would you do this? There is always the option not to do it. Figure out why you're doing it and then go for it.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Traffic is busy coming off of Agnes Way, off the Linford Pearson Highway. As we look to the Esteli Tibbetts Highway, traffic busy as well coming off of there, heading towards the Butterfield roundabout. Industrial Park area, traffic is moderate in both directions and traffic is steady on North Sound Road. Traffic also busy coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. Slight delays expected. And as we look to Crew Road, heading to Georgetown, traffic is busy and eastbound traffic is steady. And from the West Bay 4-way stop, traffic moving on moderately, as well as on Edward Street. And looking towards Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is moderate in both directions. Now, if you've seen any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again. At about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock, we'll give you another traffic report.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven-roasted chicken, Black Forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Cybercrime happens online or through the technology we use every day. Anyone can be a victim of cybercrime, whether you are a young person being bullied or harassed online, or an older person or business who's been scammed out of money or personal data. Cybercrime is an issue that touches all of us. The Cayman Islands government has therefore created an online resource to help keep you cyber safe in an ever-changing world.
In online situations, it is better to be cyber safe than sorry. Learn now to protect yourself against cybercrime. Visit gov.ky/cybersafe.
On the road again. Boss, I broke down on the road, you know. The truck looked like an Optimus Prime barbecue.
In this heat, not surprised. But we need to get this cargo moving. Let's get the truck into Superior Auto pronto.
When your trucks go down, Superior Auto is the team to get you back up. Reliable, quality-trained technicians who value your time and aim to get your trucks back in service so you can continue to be of service to your customers. Specializing in complete Isuzu, Hino, and other models of delivery box trucks and its repairs, including computer diagnostics, mechanical, and body repair. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Keep on trucking with Superior Auto.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, we have Dr. Steve Macfield, and want to let our listeners and viewers know that the phone lines are open now. If you have any questions, comments, we don't have any specific topic that we're talking about this morning, so we will touch on several subjects. Meanwhile, a lady lost her wallet yesterday somewhere between Eastern Avenue and Crew Road. Because of important documents that are in there, she's more concerned about retrieving those documents than the money that is in the wallet. Her number is 324-0926. If anyone has found a wallet, I don't have a name, I just have a number, 324-0926. Please give her a call. Lost wallet in the vicinity of Eastern Avenue and Crew Road yesterday. And we know that there are many honest people out there, and if you have found a wallet, or if you know someone who's found a wallet, and if there are no identifying documents inside it, please give this lady a call, 324-0926. And, with that, I want to mention Mr. Robert Scott at the Customs Department last week. My daughter came in from via Atlanta after having to overnight there because there were delays leaving New York, and as a result of that, missed her connecting flight in Atlanta. And it was being picked up at the airport, and in her rush, left her knapsack on the chair where she was sitting, because I think she had about 3 or 4 pieces of luggage, and left it there. Got to Kuruota by my sister's house, transferring the luggage from one car to the other, realized the knapsack isn't there. And right away, I looked at my phone and frantically saying, who can I contact that may be at the airport terminal? Had Mr. Robert Scott's number, and was fortunately able to reach him, described the item to him, told him where she was sitting. He went out there and said, well, I found a red, white, and blue knapsack. I said, I'm not sure what color it is. I said, look in the side because her passport is in there. And he said, oh, I don't see any passport. And then he said, hold on, because he found another section of the knapsack, and he unzipped that, and there was the passport, identifying her. And he held on to it because she was on her way back then to look for it. So again, goes to show you the honesty that we have here, and Cayman being so small and we being so intimate. And when I say that loosely, intimate with each other, knowing each other. I was able to get on the phone and call, and he was able to retrieve that, because who knows? Fortunately, there weren't that many flights in at that point in time, so there was not a whole lot of traffic in the area where she was sitting waiting, as well. But I want to give a big shout out to the Customs, Department of Customs and Border Control, and in particular, Mr. Robert Scott as well, because there were other members of the administration who were trying to get in touch with someone there, as well, to see if they could find it. So, in this case, with this lady's wallet, if you have found it, like I pointed out, she's not as much interested in the money as she is in the other documents as well. Doc?
Well, that intimacy, although we can sit on the radio and we can claim that intimacy, which is one of the hallmarks of why a lot of people came here to the Cayman Islands, and one of the reasons why we developed so quickly. Because of that honesty in which we displayed all over the world, not only in Cayman. But now they're using that against us in many ways. Yeah. And they're saying that's the reason why we cannot be judges. Some of the reason why because we are too intimate with each other, and we will favor each other, and why we can't be police. Because they just a lot of the talk is, well, we know each other, and we would not do an impartial investigation against the other person because he might be the cousin, or might be the cousin of the cousin of the cousin, and so it goes against us, and people don't really understand. I don't think a lot of people understand our historical and social,
Go ahead, Doc. No.
Yeah, our historical and social origins, where we came from, and how we survived and evolved on this little island by ourselves, and how we had to integrate with each other. And True had a saying when he used to be on the platform. He says that families make up the Cayman message. Communities make up the Cayman message. So families and communities makes up the Cayman nation. And a lot of people didn't understand what that meant. But what he means is that is what makes us a people, is because we know each other on different levels that goes right back to the root of our family history, where we come from. And that's very important. A lot of people have lost that in their society today. And I know a lot of people just around us have lost that rootness in their society, and they're just strangers now, and that's why they can sort of kill each other without the blink of an eye, without any emotions. Just kill each other because there's no cohesiveness between them. Like we still have that in our sense of being, and the fact that that makes us separate from other nationalities, although there are 135 or 36 or 37 of them here, that sets us apart from many of those other nationalities that are here. The way that we live as Caymanians, we can still, a lot of us still have that in our DNA, in our Caymanian DNA, and that guy, Mr. Scott, is one of those people.
Yes.
If you had been someplace else, that knapsack would have been gone, and the passport would have been sold already to somebody for millions, hundreds and thousands of dollars or dollars. That's the difference in Cayman.
So Doc, speaking of being a judge, or being a policeman and being intimate, with the Caymanian society, isn't that a part of jurisprudence as well? Knowing the community in which you live, knowing the nuances, understanding. Sometimes doesn't that factor into a judge's thinking and decisions? We've seen some magistrates. There's one magistrate in particular who some people believe that they're soft on crime, but at the same time, I believe that particular magistrate has an understanding of Cayman society and what Caymanians are up against, and sometimes what they face, and that may factor into into some of the decisions, maybe in terms of sentencing or whatever. Isn't that a part of it? Just the same way, if you're a police officer, you have a discretion, as to whether or not you're going to ticket someone for speeding, or whether or not you're going to give them a warning. I would imagine that within the prison service, you can get along with prisoners in there if you understand them, or you may decide that you want to be stern, strict, and then you create an adversarial environment between you and the prisoner. So there must be some positivity, some plus in terms of being Caymanian and being able to operate and interact and to make decisions that affect your own people.
It is. It should. But the problem that we have is that some people who come here to work here and who has a lot of power here, decision-making power here, don't feel the same way, don't think the same way we do. And that is one of the reasons why there is such increase in antisocial behavior, the social problems that we have. It is because they do not have an intimate knowledge of the community in which they work. And that is why it's so hard to find, to solve some offenses, crimes that happen here, because people do not want to talk with them. But I remember when I was young, and I went to school and didn't come back from school, but because I was playing marbles. And my mama would say to me, "Well, you know something? Let me tell you one thing. When CB pass here again, I'm going to tell him that look out for you, to see where if you down the old yard playing marbles, because you're supposed to be back here from school to change your take off your school clothes."
And CB was a policeman then?
And CB was a policeman. And you didn't want CB to come to see you, to find you, especially if your mama sent him to you. That was the intimacy that we had with the police and the family. And he knew everything that was happening in the family. He knew everything. He knew when we went away. And whether we went to New York or Philadelphia or wherever, and the house was closed, he knew that there should not have been any movement in the house at all, because we were away. That doesn't happen in these days. And the magistrate that you talk about is a good magistrate, because that's what magistrates should be doing. Because when I get up in court and I tell a judge after a conviction or something, and I'm trying to put the defendant in a position where the judge can understand what kind of sentence that should be imposed upon him. And I say, sir, he comes from Rockhole, or he comes from Central and stuff, and blah, blah, and things like that. The judge would want to hear that kind of background because he can then summarize that, and he can probably ask to have a background report from the social report from an officer. But if a judge doesn't want to hear that, and he doesn't want to hear that because he doesn't have to be from that class of people, but he doesn't have an empathy for that class of people, that he doesn't want to hear that. He's strictly saying, the law says that you should go to jail for 10 years. And that's all he's interested in. That's not a good judge, and that doesn't make for good some community at all. And it's not good judicial decision making. So that's the problem we have here. And I can tell you, Orit, that if we don't do something about it, the police and these $6 an hour security guards that we have will not be able to solve these rising onto social problems that are happening. We are moving into the wrong direction, I believe, and we are creating an economy and another thing, the direction that we are creating. We are creating an economy that are forcing the traditional Caymanian poor people to sell their inherited property.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about that after we return from this commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamped Motors, Walkers Road.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic. Your life connected. Cricket, lovely cricket. You are invited to the Jamaica 60th Independence Cricket Festival on Sunday, July 31st at the Smith Road Oval from 12 noon to 6 p.m. when Jamaica Masters Invitational will take on the World 11 Masters in the first match. The second match will see Jamaica versus the rest of the World 11. Bring out the whole family and enjoy a day of fun, festivities, and cricket. Lovely cricket. Sponsored by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, Cayman Islands Cricket Association, JN Money, Kingston 62, Hot 104.1 FM, Radio Cayman, and Breeze FM.
Did you know that our reefs are home to over 45 different kinds of corals and more than 125 different species of fish? But an aggressive coral disease called stony coral tissue loss disease, or Skittle-D, is threatening our incredible corals. Come to Coral Fest at the Westin Hotel on Wednesday, August 10th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. to learn what makes corals so important, how the UK overseas territories in the region are protecting them, and what you can do to help. There will be informational booths, games, prizes, and it's free. Coral Fest at the Westin, Wednesday, August 10th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning, and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. Before I throw the mic back over to Doc, we have birthday greetings. The Ebanks twins are celebrating a birthday also. Mark and Matthew Ebanks are celebrating birthday today as well. So talking about Caymanians now having to sell their what we consider their birthright to a certain extent.
They're inherited properties.
Now, yesterday, and I'm a big fan of Deputy Premier, and I know exactly where his heart is. I know where his heart is and everything. But it was a little disturbing to hear him say, not because he said so, but to the mere fact, the fact that he was conveying, the fact that he was conveying, not his opinion, but what was told to him. And he said, Caymanians, there are some Caymanians who are telling me, who are saying, I have my land and I want to be able to sell it to the highest bidder. And I would say absolutely nothing wrong with that. But where we have a limited amount of land in the Cayman Islands, where we're seeing more and more Caymanians being disenfranchised, either deliberately or, as a result of unforeseen circumstances, where we see Caymanians being disenfranchised, then while that any individual may have a right to sell their property to the highest bidder, I believe that the government and our Constitution allows the government to introduce policies and legislation that will determine to whom that property is sold, by determining who can purchase property in the Cayman Islands. Now, we know that the real estate industry in the Cayman Islands has a whole lot of political, economic clout in the Cayman Islands. We cannot disregard them in any way, and for every new real estate agent that we allow into this country, that we issue work permits for in this country, we are handing even more power into the real estate industry's hand. And we know that that is something that they would oppose, because they're into it to make money.
Yes.
They don't care whether or not Caymanian ends up losing his property or the family. They end up 10, 15 years from now having to rent because they have no more property.
Well, how they are going to rent? Because the statistics have shown that once you sell the property and you get the money in your hand, unless you invested in other property, or you invest it wisely where you have a monthly income from that income that you got from your property, the money is going to go quickly. And then in 5 or 10 years later, sometimes not even that long, you are going to wind up asking the government for assistance. So it's within the government's interests to be able to control the sale of property and to say who can purchase property in the Cayman Islands. Most of that's what happens in other jurisdictions now, and especially now when the world is contracting economically and so forth. They do not want all the economic power that comes through property to be in the hands of just one or two multi-billionaires or millionaires. And I I am also a great fan of the deputy prime minister and the minister, but I am also worried about where is the policy that is going to come out of all the economic woes that we see are coming. We see already where today, I think it was the Feds have increased the interest rates, and the interest rates are automatically being increased here.
Yep.
And if that continues into it's now into a recession in the next year or so, what is going to happen to the poor Caymanians who are already behind the 8th, 10th door? What's going to happen to them? I mean, when I see an article with the sargassum problem, and about it was on your show, I think, that one of the members of the opposition was talking about what's that program called again?
The NICE program.
The NICE program. Why is it that those people can't be employed full time all year round? Why is it that it's only a few weeks every couple of months of the year? I mean, every 2 times a year. Why is it that those people can't have employment all year round? All the money that they give away to concessions and consultants, why is it that they can't pay them $10 a day to go and clean up the beaches? I just don't understand. I do understand it, and I understand where they're coming from, but it seems to me that nobody cares about the poor. They only care about the poor as long as they are able to put the X. And I remember this antidote on this satire from East End, where Mr. Warren, they said, was calling them ignoramuses, and they were clapping and said, "Oh, that good, Mr. Warren. Boy, tell us like it is.
Preach it,
Mr. Warren." And then this guy went out and say, I just don't understand how Mr. Warren gets elected, because he say every year I go and I X him out. I put an X by his name, and he still gets in. I don't understand that. So that is similarly what happens in the situation that we're facing now. I do not see what is the broad plan to help the Caymanian people stabilize themselves in such a hostile economic environment, and it's only going to get worse. And another thing that we have, the Caymanians are not effectively and properly educated to deal with the situation that we have to deal with on the world. And if Caymanians are not effectively and properly educated, we will have to consider massively and securely incarceration. That is a frightening thing. That's the only solution we have to this problem. Because when people are hungry and cannot find food and shelter, they are going to try to take it from other people who have it. And as you said in the opening of your of the show here, that Cayman is such small and so intimate that we all know each other still, and that can work to our detriment too in those respects. Because when people come, they're not going to go to the gated communities where the foreigners live to take food and to take shelter from them. They're going to come to you, who they know, because they think that it's safe to do that from you. So that is a problem that we have, that is on the horizon. And like I said, the police and the $6 an hour security guards are not going to be able to stem that tide when that tide start coming in.
Yep, that is true. So there was a story that was out a few weeks ago about one particular financial institution, and we know that particular financial institution, that either the majority of shares or maybe all of the shares the company was basically sold to a foreign entity. And then there was a story out about senior managers within that organization then who
thrown out the door.
I happen to be a customer at that particular institution, and I quietly inquired as to whether, when I went there, to whether or not one of the managers who I know, and every time I go in there I see that manager because they're in the customer service area, and unfortunately he was one of those that had been let go. We continuously see, and I had an article that I took out from the Jamaica Gleaner, and I'll have to find it, about several Jamaican companies that are expanding their horizons.
In Cayman.
They're investing in apartment complexes. They're investing in warehouses, in other real estate as well. Again, we see Cayman being the magnet for other jurisdictions to come and invest in and to make profits. Those profits, to a certain extent, are not going to stay there. The reason that they're investing is because of their parent company, which is located somewhere else, and they're going to repatriate most of that monies to their parent country.
All their income, interests, all the profits going to be repatriated back to their mother country.
Yeah.
And the problem that I find...
That can't be good for Cayman.
Good? All right, how could that be good? How the hell could that be good? Because, all right, I do not understand how you can allow people to come to buy things in such a vulnerable society and there are no condition precedent for such purchase. You could just let them come and buy it and then kick your people out. You know, or that was one of the things why the board that I was on never got the airport rebuilt. Like really, it should have been. Because when the members of government members send the Canadian crew up to us to make a presentation, it's a good presentation, other than the fact that they were going to build two buildings, which we didn't want. We wanted one building. We wanted to go up on the second floor to cover the second floor as it was, expand it and cover the second floor, and then have the board and bridges on the second floor, so you can walk off the plane on the second floor and come down
and everything.
Come down on the escalator to the customs on the ground floor. But one of the reasons why I was in charge of that, because Descartes, who allowed me to be in charge of that, because his brother would have been one of the people who were vying for the contract, is the fact that the Canadian conglomerate said to me, they will take the airport over for the life of the contract to get their money, time to get their money back, and they would be in charge of the airport and would decide who worked there. And so I asked them. I said, well, at the time I think we had 135 or 36 people there, 140 people working. And so I asked them, I said, well, how many of the staff you're going to keep? I went through the senior staff and said, this is the CEO, and this is the staff we had in the operations and so forth. And they say, we couldn't tell you until you signed the contract. And I say, my friend, let me tell you something. That kite not flying up here today. I would be a fool to sign a contract and not know how many of the people you're going to put in the streets.
Yes.
And I said to him, you think we from the village? I said, all up here, we all educated. We're not dumb village people. And then they went away and say, you'll never get an airport built unless with Steve McPhail at the head of the group, the group that's responsible for building the airport.
Because you weren't prepared to sell out?
No way. To give control or to sell out to them. And then they came back with a scheme. Well, we could give you $10 million off for the board to compensate members who would be losing their jobs. And I say, that's the worst insult that I ever heard. And I really don't want to hear you guys anymore. Just pack up your stuff and leave.
Kudos to you, Doc. Kudos to you. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
JN Money. Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash. Or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank? Yeah. Pay your bills quick? Yeah. Low fees, you know what it? Yeah. JN Money, we are pick? Yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank? Yeah. Pay your bills quick? Yeah. Low fees, you know what it? Yeah. JN Money, we are pick? Yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Ready, set, race. Join us July 30th and 31st at Parker's Raceway to see who will be running their car better than their mouth. With tickets starting at $15, we have a family-friendly event with food, drinks, and the fastest vehicles on island. Follow us on social for more event details at Parker's Raceway. A big thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Valvoline, AI Rentals, EventPro, BP Racing Fuels, Parker's, and NGK Spark Plugs. Buy your tickets in store at Ace or Parker's, or visit us online at parkersraceway.com.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Commissions for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that they are required to submit their annual declarations by no later than Saturday, 30th of July, 2022. To determine if you're required under the Act to submit a declaration, visit standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky/register-of-interest. Again, the deadline for submissions of declarations of interest via the online portal in accordance with the Standards in Public Life Act is Saturday, 30th July, 2022.
JN Money presents the official Jamaica 60th Independence Celebrations on Friday, August 5th at the Lion Center. Featuring from Jamaica, General Degree. Alongside Erica Asai, Leroy Evans, Rose Gold, Dream Chasers Dancers, and much more. There will be kids talent contest, best dress, and a dancing contest. Lots of prizes and giveaways, plus the best Jamaican food all day long. Health fair from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. where you can get your PSA, diabetes, and blood pressure checked for free. Music by DJ Bengal and MC Lady T. Don't miss the Jamaica Independence Celebrations Friday, August 5th at the Lion Center, featuring General Degree. Admission is absolutely free. Sponsored by Kingston 62, Best Dressed Chicken, Popeyes, Royal Medical, Kmart Discount Store, People's Choice Grocery, Nathan General, Hot 104.1 FM, Cayman Airways, Cost You Less, Radio Cayman, and Breeze FM.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield. I want to remind you our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. That's provide courtesy of Flo. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261 as well. We do have a caller. Before we grab the caller, let me just read this message. This person says, in regards to the topic, Caymanian landowners should be practicing the concept of leasehold terms for sale where their ownership would be kept in place. Too many persons do not understand this, and thus we are now in a quandary with foreign freehold ownership. And I want to thank that listener for sharing that with us as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Ose.
Hey, good morning, good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. How are Dr. Phil, Steve?
I'm okay. How are you, sir? Mr. Mr. Baker.
I did only the weather now. I just had a minor surgery and I got to take it easy for about 10 weeks.
Okay,
you know?
well, good to know that it was successful.
Well, so far, so good. But, and out of the woods yet, But it's quite interesting to hear Dr. McPhee talk about things in the past, But I wonder what sort of light he's going to shed on the future.
But I don't. I don't have a future.
You don't have a future?
No, I living in my future right now.
No. You still have a future.
Mm.
Your future never dies.
Mm-hmm.
But you're thinking, are you meaning, what does he see in terms of the future for Cayman?
Yes. That's basically what I'm trying to get across.
You heard me make my prediction the other day that I said by the year 2050, we're going to Caymanians are going to lose complete control. As far as Cayman is concerned, and many people say to me that it's going to happen before. Happen before.
I would say I would say in 10 to 15 years, Cayman is going to lose control if we keep rubber stamping all of these people in the Cayman Islands every week. Every week, if we keep doing that, and the future is not going to be on our side. We are going to be just like every other minority in all of those countries where the minority came in and became the majority, and there's nothing you can do about it because they say it's all democracy and this is what should happen. I have sat down and I have written a whole lot of stuff. What I see, if I was running the country or had something to do with the evolution of the country that would protect your children, my grandchildren, your grandchildren, and everything. But I am not I am not in that position. Mm-hmm. I am just like you. Mm-hmm. I am just a citizen like you are, without any economic and political power to make changes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, caller.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I to a certain extent agree with you, but you can't mix up what took place in the past.
But if you do not know what happened in the past, then you will not know how you should conduct yourself today and how you conduct yourself tomorrow. It's the past that you have control of.
But you can't depend on that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look forward. You have to move forward. You have to depend on the people that you have around you.
Well, you have to move forward, but you cannot move forward unless you have people who wants to move forward with you. And then Cayman, I don't have people who want to move forward with me or with anybody who are forward movers or forward thinkers.
You can't turn the Cayman Islands into a dictatorship. And only how
who wants to turn the Cayman Islands into a dictatorship?
The only how you can move forward on your.
Who wants to turn the Cayman Islands into a dictatorship?
Yeah, but that sounds like that.
Sounds like what?
Like what you're saying there.
How can you change people? How can you change the country by yourself?
Yes, but then you remember what happened with Duvalier in Haiti?
I don't follow you. You completely lost me.
Did you read about Haiti history?
You completely lost me. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, if you need to check the history. Anyway, what I'm trying to get across, the Cayman Islands right now, when it compared to the rest of the Caribbean or the West Indies, we have a dynamic background as far as population is concerned. And people in Cayman might be too hastily selling their properties, but when they do, they make sure, at least they should make sure, that they're setting it up for the future, the children and
I think we're all saying the same thing then, caller.
Yeah, but don't try to say that Caymanian people are all not ignorant to what is happening in the rest of the world. Some may be, but the majority are not. You know, because if it wasn't for the Cayman Islands right now, a lot of other Caribbean countries mightn't have been able to see how they could progress.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you think of it, yeah, when you look at for instance, Jamaica,
exactly,
the four main remitting countries as far as monies based on their nationals working in those countries, the United States, Canada, United Kingdom. The next one, the Cayman Islands. Caller, we have to go to quickly the headline news. If you wanted, we have another caller on hold, but we're going to invite you to call back after the headline news so that we can continue this conversation as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
There are an estimated 759 active cases of COVID-19 in Cayman after Public Health registered 111 cases on Tuesday and Wednesday. There are 11 patients in the hospital. The 7-day rolling average for Thursday was 43. Russia's defense ministry says 40 Ukrainian prisoners of war have been killed by Ukrainian shelling in a prison in separatist-held Donetsk. Officials alleged that 75 others were injured in a rocket strike on a prison camp. The BBC cannot independently verify this claim. Ukraine's military denied carrying out the strike and instead accused Russia of shelling the prison. It said Moscow was seeking to cover up evidence of torture at the site. And the U.S. and Chinese leaders have warned each other over Taiwan during a phone call that lasted more than 2 hours. President Joe Biden told his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping that the U.S. strongly opposed any unilateral moves to change the island's status, but he added that U.S. policy on Taiwan has not changed. Beijing said Mr. Xi had told Mr. Biden to abide by the one China principle, warning him that, quote, whoever plays with fire will get burnt. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve MacPhail. We have a caller on hold. We're going to take that caller. Doc, at some point in time, I'm going to ask you during the course of the show as well to comment on the recent Privy Council ruling on Trinidad and Tobago's bail case. We see where the Jamaica Gleaner is pointing out that it could pose challenges for Jamaica in terms of legislation that they are trying to introduce.
They're proposing, to introduce.
I'm going to ask you to sort of like compare what we do here in the Cayman Islands and whether or not it would impact, the legislation that we have here in the Cayman Islands as well. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am great. You know, listening to you, Doc, about the airport. We still got trash, in my opinion. And it came because the technocrats or the people in charge wouldn't listen. I remember the minister then and the airport authorities manager, or whatever you call him, coming onto the radio and discussing the airport. And I remember calling in and asking them about the jetways. They said, no, they're not going in. I said, will there be infrastructure put in place to put them at a later date? No. But come to find out that it wasn't no good of them putting the infrastructure in, because that big, beautiful building up there cannot hold any weight on the second floor because it's all out of styrofoam. It's not concrete.
Mm.
So, yes, while we have beautiful structure, we still have no structure, and it's already beyond capacity as we speak. Now they're looking at building a new one again. That's waste of money, money, money. When Jim Barton built that airport, there were cries at that point, oh, building this big old building, and it's just a waste of money. But we see 30 years later what happened. And now that they built this one over, it was going to last supposedly for another 30 years. Well, it didn't even last 10 before it reached past capacity again. And that is because you can't expand second floor to cope with the travel industry. No foresight. Listening to people that sell you rubbish.
That's what I say, roll caller. We make decisions based on impulse, on emotion, not on reason. And the problem is that we do not want to accept our own people who reason things and think things through. We don't accept that because we never did, and that's one of our problems that we have. Now the airport could have been built. What we did is that there's something in the PFM law that says that you can have a single source provider once you make the business case for it. And that means that you don't have to go out and advertise. And we made the business case for a single source provider. And when I sought the Attorney General's knowledge on that part of the law, they came back and said, yes, we can have a single source provider if you have the business case. We made the business case, and we found a single source provider, which was Ash and Godfrey. They were going to build the airport for less than what they spent, rebuild the airport for less than what they spent. We were going to cover the whole, expand the airport and cover the upper floor, which would be the floor in which the board and bridges or the skyways would be placed. You would come off the airplane on the second floor, meet immigration there on the second floor, come down to the escalator to the ground floor where you would meet customs, and then go at the airport. And there would be a huge area on the second floor to have first-class lounges for those airlines who told us that they would like to have first-class lounges for their first-class passengers, and the food court and so forth, and shops and everything. But because local people were doing it, they did not want to accept what we were doing, and there were a lot of people say, well, what the hell does Steve McPhail know about rebuilding airport? That was a lot of stuff in the media and so they went with these other foreign people. So they got what they paid for, because the foreign people not looking to satisfy the Caymanian needs per se. They weren't interested in how much money they can get out of it quickly and move on to the next jurisdiction where they can make more money. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. And when you get somebody who put their foot down and says, I'm sorry, but I am not here to play your games, and I don't want anybody, I don't allow anybody to play me for a fool, but I'm not here to play their games. I'm here to protect the Caymanian people's rights and the Caymanian people's money. And that brings us to the question why this part of the show opened up. Is because we were talking about how they allow the sale of a Caymanian institution where the Caymanians who operate that institution on the sale were not protected. And now it has a lot of implications, because now they are going to come to say, we need staff now. We need these staff now, these high caliber staff now to continue the operation of the institution for our benefit. And then they're going to come to ORIT with staffing plan to bring these people from abroad, and the immigration board to give them work permits to bring the people abroad. And the poor Kimballons who was doing the job, who did the job, is going to be on the sideline looking in and without any jobs. That's what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I was saying if I had some sort of public power, that would never happen.
Caller, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is the voice from the BRAC, which is Miss Annie.
How are you doing, Miss Annie?
I'm fine into this situation as good. I like to put, as I have lived of it, and I have proved it. In 1997, you are all, as this now, our district commissioner, Mr. Rankin. It was a property next to our spot-based school. And into it, it was a sale to be on the opposite side of the property. So I heard of it, and I heard of other persons want to purchase. But I say it's entirely too close to the school, so I will intercede with the seller and see what's taking place. So I contact the seller, and into it, she quoted the price. And I made an appointment with the district commissioner if he could see me at a certain time. He said I was welcome to come. So into the conversation, when I arrived there, I put it before him that it was this property that was supposed to be sold, and some other ones that were wanting it, it was not necessary for such occasion. He said, well, I could tell him stories. So I told him what was what and what not. Mm-hmm. So he said, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, you know what? I am here to help you all, and as a citizen of the Cayman Islands, from one island to the next, there is no difference. And what I have to say now, he said, I will say to you, and in the meantime, that it should be revoked of saying, if I'm alive, I will say yes, that was the proof. I called back the sales lady, and she said yes, and she quoted the price. I gave it to him. He said, Ms. Annie, I will get in contact immediately with the Lands and Survey and with the officials in Grand Cay. And I will give the lady the okay of the purchase. He did so, and he said to me, he said, Miss Annie, he said, I'm going to tell you this. If me or you live in say, we are going to be out of what was ours from our forefathers, and we will have no privilege. It will be sold, it will be taken away, and we will have nowhere to go. He mentioned this, to fish, to swim. He said all we will have is just seeing intervals and buildings. Mm-hmm. And into this, he said, I give 10 years from now, which 1997, he was district commissioner. I give 10 years from today, and there will be no Caymanians to have the privilege to manage or to say into their country what they will have and what they will lose. And if the government do not go back to the old laws of putting down onto any parcel of land that they seize that should not be taken, which he said, I will quote to you, he said, it is our land that definitely, he said, that is crown land, And he said no investors or no others should be taking it away from any of our natives that live. And he said they must bond it. He said in years you put a 10 shilling or we put a shilling. And that government that or commissioner that will be ruling, he would have that documented that there is no land to be sold, no crown lands. It will belong to the natives.
Got you.
Got you. Thank
Okay,
you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
For sharing that with us. We do have a string of other callers on hold. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we're going to take those callers, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
You could be the lucky winner in July as part of Kirk Freeport's 50th anniversary sweepstakes. Each month for the whole year, lucky shoppers have a chance to win a jewelry piece or watch from luxury brands. The prize for July is the innovative Tag Heuer Carrera watch that takes you from daytime to a night out with seamless style. Visit any Kirk Freeport store location to enter. Every purchase of $100 gains you entry into the monthly drawing. View terms and conditions on KirkFreeport.com.
The Department of Environmental Health would like to advise Cayman Brac residents that due to elevated seasonal temperatures, garbage collection services will now start at 4 a.m. during July and August. To avoid missed collections, please place your garbage in the enclosure a night before your scheduled pickup. For more information, contact the DEH office in Cayman Brac at 948-2321.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers in hold, so we're going to ask each caller to please be as brief as possible. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, we'll see. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, my friend?
And Dr. Matthew, how are you, sir?
I'm great.
Yes, Mr. Connor, I just want to ask you to give a shout out to Begin Little One. Today is their birthday, 85 years old.
Okay.
Coming from Ada, the wife of Piggy, and the little one, her nephew, her brother-in-law. So they're 85 today, and I just want to wish them all the best that life has for them. It's 85 is a good number, but usually more doctor. You almost there too, right?
Pardon me?
Doctor, so you almost in that number as well.
I passed that number.
No. I got to see your passport. Because I don't know what you do to keep young.
Keep positive, read my Bible, read the scriptures, keep positive, eat well, and look after myself. And my body's a temple that house my soul.
Okay. Well, that is good, man.
So begin, little one, celebrating 85 years. I'm surprised that I didn't get something from Miss Sadie on that.
Yeah.
But
I think you said she was trained.
Thanks for reminding us.
Yep. And I want Susan to play Alan Jackson, The Older I Get.
Okay.
The show.
Yeah. The doctor will be on. She'll pass that information on to the doctor for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great day. And again, happy birthday to Hensdale and Marfield Gillette, also known as Lil One and Biggie. 85 years old today. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, not bad. Listening to the show all morning, but I'm going to be brief. The guy was talking about the airport a while ago. But I've been working at the airport now for 26 years.
Wow.
I'm now a part-time taxi driver. I just pulled up here, do the midday flights and go home. But the old airport was designed to go 2 floors.
That's right.
If you all remember, they had 2x2 columns right through the front of the airport and through the back. That's why they was put there for to hold the second floor. So the other guy was talking about that. I don't think he knows anything about that.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's one thing I want to bring up. But the airport is still a nightmare. The outside covering is terrible. It needs to be covered straight across the whole road. And it's pouring rain, everybody's still getting drowned here. This pipe that they got up here rusts into pieces. It's terrible. I mean, the way they did it. And when you drive into the airport, the first thing you see is arrivals before you see departures. So it's back and front. Anyway, that's something they got to work on. But yeah, well, this is a show all morning, Dr. Steve, and some of the words to say really touch my soul, because I'm like you. Take care of the temple of body. I read the scripture, and don't worry, pray, because what's basically happening, the Bible fulfilling, and none of us can stop it. In fact, I tell the politicians, you and the billionaires and millionaires are hanging yourselves and you don't even know. That's basically it. A little bit of common sense go a long way. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that and enjoy the rest of the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You do the same as well, and please stay safe. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning, Cap. How are you, sir?
Oh, I've got a little treasure for you. Good morning, Dr. Mike.
Good morning. Good morning, Captain. How are you, sir?
I'm glad that you're on there this morning, because I'm going back a long way.
Yes.
1945.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah. You remember the old Latter-day Saint church up on Church Street?
Yes.
That's where there was a teacher here. I got Edwin Percival Ferguson. That's where I spent 1 year with him in school. And I'm going to name out some of the students. Stacey Solomon.
Wow.
Yes.
Burdell and Florence Smith.
Miss Burdell, okay. And that would be, VV would be...
VV.
Yeah.
Marjorie Piercy.
Yes.
Stacey Solomon, John Hines, and Colby Jackson.
Wow.
Captain Colby.
Thomas Hurston from South Sound. And Dr. Rose, son Hadley Rose.
Okay.
Dr. Hadley, yes.
Dr. Hadley was there. The teacher was Edwin Percival Ferguson. I can't read. I'm going to make this short. He was the one, as far as I can remember, started the Truth for Youth School. It wasn't Dick Arch and his sister Maggie. I know they can. I know they went to school to him, not where I went, but behind the old gospel hall out there, the old wooden building. They went to school there, And this, I'm going to give you the. Somebody got it from. I tried 15 years to get this article about him.
Wow.
Nobody remembers him. But the newspaper archives in Kingston, Jamaica, and the date is the Daily Gleaner, Tuesday, August the 12th, 1952.
Wow.
Mr. Hart, I know you can pull that up on the computer.
Can you repeat it again? Is it the Daily Gleaner?
Yeah, the Daily Gleaner. August
3rd.
The Daily Gleaner, Tuesday, August the 12th, 1952.
Okay.
I got that. I don't know if I can read all because it's poorly printed.
Okay.
But it's Kingston Gleaner, August 22, 1952, page 5, Kingston, JM, Jamaica, and the website is // archives .com Kingston, Jamaica. August the 12th, 1952.
So, Captain, this school, where was it located on Church Street? Where was it?
Well, the whole lot, you're too young to remember that. Where the whole Latter-day Saints building church was. You remember Ms. Eric Cook's house?
Yes.
That's exactly the spot.
On the seaside as well.
On the seaside, it was an upstairs.
Yes.
It was dirt floor.
Okay.
And I know that Dr. Steve remember it.
Yes, I remembered it very well.
Because I'm only familiar with Mr. Reverend Paul Smith when he came here and his family. So yeah.
Yeah, they was from the Church of Christ. This guy, I didn't know the time I went to school with him. I went from 1945, 44, 45, something like that. But he was an excellent teacher. He used to board with Mr. Burke's sister, Elsa Bernard, up there.
Up at Miss Elsa Bernard's guest house.
Yeah, and give us his name again, Captain Paul.
Yes.
Edwin Percival Ferguson.
Okay. Okay.
He was it's a pity he came here just too early because came out very primitive those days, and he was an excellent. The little bit I learned, that's where I learned it from. He was an excellent teacher.
Captain Paul, I have another question for you. I was talking to someone, I think it was either last week or this week, and they were querying when did Cayman cease, or when did we stop celebrating Emancipation Day in Cayman? Was it discontinued after 1962 when Jamaica went independent? They were questioning whether or not as being administered as a part of Jamaica in the previous years while Jamaica was still a colony. Did we celebrate Emancipation Day with Jamaica at that point in time? And was it discontinued then after 1962? Do you have any information on that, Captain Paul?
No, I really don't, because I left here in 47, and I had a few trips by, but I really don't know just when that was when that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But I hope you can pull that up on your computer. And it's very fine print. I can't read so good anyhow, but it's very fine print. I can't read it. But that's an excellent story. I tried for 15 years, all the age people, but nobody had any record of him. I found somebody that's pretty good on the very good on the computer. She pulled that up for me, and it makes me so. At least I know I'm not praising now because I remembered all of this.
Thank you. And most all those people who went there are all became very successful in their lives.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Captain Paul, I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, Ms. Susan, anyone on hold? No callers on hold. We will take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue, so please stay tuned.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
The Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise the motoring public of emergency works along Esterly Tibbetts Highway between Raleigh Quay and Yacht Drive. The works are anticipated to take approximately 4 hours, with the southbound traffic being reduced to one lane between now and 12 p.m. today. Traffic management measures will be in place to direct traffic, and all motorists are being asked to drive with caution when you are in the area. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it undertakes these works, and do apologize for any inconvenience caused.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Radio Cayman News.
Police and emergency services responded to a report of a missing 2-year-old.
There are 793 estimated active cases in the Cayman Islands.
The Deputy Governor was joined by senior civil servants responsible for disaster response.
A celebration of gay rights set for this weekend at Camana Bay is denounced by the Cayman Ministers Association.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Ms. Susan, I'm not sure if you saw this one yet, but I will share this with our audience. This is for immediate release as well. And this is coming from the Health Services Authority. And they're advising that the Little Cayman Clinic is closed due to island-wide outage. Says, please note that Little Cayman Clinic is currently closed for regular appointments due to an island-wide power outage in Little Cayman. Patients' appointments affected will be contacted to be rescheduled. Only emergency medical treatment will be available until power is restored. And it says if you want to contact the clinic, please call 345-916-5395. So it is important for you to note that due to an island-wide power outage in Little Cayman, the Little Cayman Clinic is currently closed for regular appointments. So the patients' appointments affected will be, those patients whose appointments have been affected will be contacted to be rescheduled. They will only deal with emergency medical treatment. If you have any questions or any queries, call 916-5395. Okay. So, someone sent... we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. But before we do that, Miss Esther has shared something with me. I'm calling her name because I think they would recognize it anyway based on what is sent. Miss Esther Jackson says, Uncle Fossey had Mr. Ferguson start a school, but that was not the truth for youth school Truth for Youth was started in 1960 with assistance from the affiliated church in Hagerstown, Maryland. So I want to thank Miss Esther for sharing that with us as well. Folks, we in the Cayman Islands, we have a lot of history, a rich history, which we need to continue to share it with those of us who are young, as well as sharing with the Johnny-come-latelys as well, to let them know that we were really not the islands that time forgot. We were the islands that wanted to forget about time.
That's right.
Because it was of no significance to us. Later for time. Let's go to grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey.
Mr. Steve, how are you
Good
today?
morning, Mr. Samamba. We probably heard us calling your name. Yes.
Well, because I've been listening to you on and off and so on, but I started at the very beginning, but I missed some of what you said at the beginning. So did you call my name? Did you say something good?
Yes, we said something good, and we wonder. There's a case in the court in the Cayman Islands. It was mentioned on the Loop tabloid about judges' biasness.
Yes, I read the Loop article. Yes.
Huh? So what do you think about that?
Well,
does that help you?
Yes, I think it will help me. In fact, what I did was I took a link of it and I sent it to the counsel who is dealing with the matter on the AG side. And I've asked that we should make it part of our bundles because we've already agreed on the list of authorities that want to go in the bundles. So I was just telling them that we should include that particular one in the bundles because what I'm also saying in my case is that in a case really where, yes, I'm suing the governor, but really I'm also suing the judge by name together with the personal assistant. How can another judge, a full-time judge in Cayman, hear that case? Okay, I'm saying that he can't hear that case. The best thing to do is to do what they did with the hearing for Mangata. They brought in a magistrate from Bermuda because they said, well, for a number of reasons, nobody could hear that case. I think that mine, although is not on all fours, as we say, still the same principle applies because how can a judge who probably we have a barbecue together over the weekend, we sit in the office and chat, and then I'm supposed to sit down in a court and decide a case. What I have suggested is that they should get a judge from somewhere else. In fact, my preliminary application, which I've already made, and it will be the first one to be dealt with on the day, and the president of the court has agreed. He has agreed that I should raise the issue. I've said all the members of the Court of Appeal, the permanent members of the Court of Appeal should not hear my matter. They should bring people from another jurisdiction who come to hear that case ad hoc. And my reasons are not just because I'm suing a judge who they will be familiar with, but it is also based on certain things that a succession of judges have done. You can see that the bias is there because they are doing things that you normally do not do as a judge. Like for example, the central part of my case is that the judge, Mr. Ian Kawali, acted in bad faith. And I quoted the definition of bad faith, but I didn't see the definition of bad faith in the judgment. I also said, well, here are the letters which indicate that this judge wasn't telling the truth when he said that I requested the video conference hearing shortly before the hearing. Here are the emails, 12 of them beginning like 12 weeks before, and we can even get other evidence of the Zoom hearing in January. And yet the judge never quoted the emails. He just said, I've looked at them, there's nothing in them. So I'm just saying that apart from the fact that I'm suing a judge, but also a certain pattern of behavior through judges is showing that, you see, the judge should recuse themselves because that impedes the right to a fair trial. I mean, I could go on about this. I can tell you one more thing. One more thing is, for example, on the day which was fixed for hearing, and I can say this because this is what has been filed, and it is actually already in the judgment on the website, which is now being appealed. What happened on the day which was supposed to be the 6th and the 7th of May 2019, when the case was supposed to be heard, and it was the request had been made, what happened was instead the judge held an ex parte hearing with the other lawyer for 30 minutes, okay? And during that 30 minutes, the judge was asking the lawyer he's heard. We have the audio of that, by the way. He's asking the other lawyer, what is Mr. Smamba's argument here, you know? So instead of me being connected on Zoom so that I could explain my arguments were being asked, like, what is his argument from the other side? I mean, there are so many things that are totally awkward, and yet still I have not gotten the judge to just say, look, the appearance of justice has been lost in the case. And in the other case as well, that's what has happened. The appearance of justice was lost because the judge had made some comments in another case which were clearly showing that he could pre-decide this other case even before arguments and so on. But anyway, that's the thing. But I've taken so much time, but that's not what I was going to talk about, but I was happy to have the opportunity to do that. But very quickly, the statement that the Honorable Wayne Panton made at the opening of this the Chief Justice's seminar. I mean, I'm very fond, of course, of Premier Panton, and I think he's putting in some great efforts, you know, to do things right. But I was rather disappointed with what he said about something that's related to this subject matter. And I have it here. This is the quote from the Cayman News Service. It says, this is Premier Panton now addressing the gathering. He said, for us here in the Cayman Islands, the entrenchment of the constitutional separation of powers is a relatively recent achievement. Panton said, the separation of powers was only fully and finally constitutionally entrenched in Cayman with the 2016 constitutional amendment. It was only then that it was established that the executive branch has no disciplinary authority over the judiciary, except when acting upon the advice of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, and only in cases of serious misconduct or inability to function, unquote. Now, you know what that is? That is like praising a problem, praising the existence of a problem. The 2016 amendment is actually what put me in a position where I had no option but to go to the court and sue a judge. Otherwise, if the proper procedures existed to complain to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission and have the structured procedures within rules, I would not have gone to court. You see, a lot of countries have moved away from this idea that the judges should supervise themselves, because it is always recognized that they are going to take care of themselves. And even where it exists, they have made sure that it is not one person deciding. In Cayman, it is the Chief Justice who decides, you know, in relation to Grand Court judges. In Ontario, for example, the Chief Justice is involved together with other judges. They've got six members. They've got 10 members, 6 who are judges, and 1 from the bar. But they also have 4 members of the public. So you see, I can't go into all the details, but if you look at the way it is done elsewhere, they are all moving away from this idea that the judiciary should supervise itself without participation from the public. In fact, the move is more to have a separate body like the Judicial and Legal Services Commission, so that when you are complaining, you go to a different body. They have that in New South Wales. They have that in other places. In England, for example, the Lord Chancellor has what is called the Judicial Conduct Complaints Office. Now, it's under the Lord Chancellor, but there is an office there, and there are some disciplinary committees where members of the public also are full members and they can vote. So what should be happening in Cayman, we should be going back to what was in the 2009 Constitution and not doing what was done in 2016, because it is the constituents of Mr. Panton and the other MLAs who are suffering, because since you gave out my number, You do not know how many people have called me and they've got similar problems. There is need to make it easier to complain against judges, to have better checks and balances, rather than trying to go back to the old systems which are now being phased out. So,
thank you, Billy.
Thank you very much, Billy. For that as well. One of our listeners has written in and pointed out to me. This thing is a pain. Miss Susan, let's go to the commercial break, and then when we return, I can get this smartphone to be smart.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Attention drivers, hurricane season is from June 1st to November 30th. Hurricanes don't plan ahead, but you can. Get prepared at Ace with batteries, flashlights, and generators. Power a small electric stove, charge your phones, or turn on some lights. Be prepared for hurricane season. Visit our store at 11 Ashko Street, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We've closed off the phone lines now to give us an opportunity to share some WhatsApp messages with you, as well as hopefully we'll have enough time for Dr. Macfield to comment about a recent Privy Council decision affecting Trinidad and Tobago, but we see where Jamaica has feel that it has implications for them as well in relation to the bail law, and let's see what our bail law says here in the Cayman Islands. So Dr. Curtis Barnett has said that he mentions Captain Paul's teacher, Ferguson, on page 126 of his book, Caymanian Epics. So if you don't have Dr. Curtis Barnett's book, Caymanian Epics, then I would suggest that you purchase it. And there's a lot in there as well. Of course, they always say a prophet is not accepted in his own country. We have so many authors here now. We have Dr. Barnett. We have, of course, Mr. Roy Borden and others as well. And, we have to, as a matter of fact, I have even Mr. Percival Worms. Percy Worms is an author as well, and he sent copies of his books over. I have to determine who exactly they need to go to. He mentions persons being on my show and sharing them with them, but he didn't give me names, so we're going to try to get that sorted out as well. But we need to read what our people have written. So, Doc, the Privy Council decision, recent decision, you're familiar with that?
I just glanced at it yesterday, but I didn't get to read it thoroughly. But I know that it's about a bail bill that they're trying to push through in Trinidad to prevent people from gun people with gun possessions and murder from being granted bail. And I think it went to the matter went to the Privy Council, and the Privy Council gave a judgment on it yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before that the Privy Council gave a judgment on the application before it as to whether or not these provisions were illegal or breached the Bill of Rights of the people in the Constitution.
I think what it says here is it says that the court agreed with Trinidad and Tobago's Court of Appeals that a 1994 Bail Act that imposed a general block on bail for persons accused of murder and certain other crimes was unconstitutional.
Yes, yes, and it has and the Gleaner was saying that it should have some grave effects on what is being proposed in Jamaica now. Because was it Malwood or Malfood? The Attorney General is Marlene is proposing a similar bill in Jamaica, because they have such violent crimes there to prevent people, the same kind of thing. People who are convicted of people who are arrested for gun crimes and for murder have a blanket against their application for bail, to refuse bail.
Now, Doc, and this goes back to a conversation that we were having this morning about judges and knowing the local conditions, right? And I'm certainly a strong advocate for civil and human rights, strong advocate for that. But I also believe that punishment has to be meted out as well. That we do not have the luxury that some other countries have in terms of being so liberal, with their laws. Now, of course, Trinidad and Tobago, while it's a republic, and while the Privy Council,
they still use the Privy Council
as opposed to the CCJ.
Yes, as their final court of appeal.
Now, do you believe that if the CCJ were dealing with this same issue, whether or not it would be different? There are many Caribbean countries, and we see more and more of it happening now because of the infiltration of drugs and guns. All countries in the Eastern Caribbean, as well as our area here, experiencing violent crimes, killings because of and people, the majority of the populace will say they need to be punished, they need to be incarcerated, and there are many who argue strongly for the death sentence to be reimposed. Can the Privy Council understand the dynamics of what is occurring in the Caribbean, and can they take their liberal European views and impose them upon us?
They see what's happening there, but they do not understand the effects that it's having on the average citizen there, because it's not happening to them in their own country. Jamaica is almost a failed state now with crime and drugs.
Yes,
and we see just a couple of days ago where one youth killed 4 people in his family. And they're saying that they do not want the violent people who have been arrested for drugs and for guns to be able to post bail and to go out and to commit the same offenses again. That is the reasons why they want to have this bill to prevent that from happening. Now, the Englishman in England that would not affect him. See, he doesn't have to deal with that in Britain. And so he is almost imposing his psychological, mental and psychological mental mind on the Jamaican situation. If that had been if he had been a Jamaican judge, if the Privy Council had been judges in Jamaica looking at the same thing, their judgment would have been quite different, and I believe in Trinidad too, they would have been quite different, like you said. So it's obvious that we have to have something like the CCJ, who understands the local area, who understands the local nuances, who understands that crime is a integral part of preventing those people from completely developing their infrastructure, their economy, their social and political life, and that something has to be done about it. And they do not have great resources like the United Kingdom has to deal with that. And so this is why they want these provisions now. Remember now, their constitutions, that constitution always belonged to them, but they didn't think about all this would be happening because they would have covered that in the constitution.
But bearing in mind that most of these constitutions, absent the amendments that they have made, they were all done through the West Indies Act, and the British had a hand in that,
and in that too,
on independence.
So this is why, going back to what you said when you opened the show, there has to be a place and a need for local judges in these circumstances, and then this circumstances of the Privy Council decision in Trinidad is one of them.
Despite the fact that their Court of Appeals there, rule the same way.
Yes, they rule the same.
The Privy Council. So, I guess there is some. What should I say? In looking at the law itself and considering the constitutional provisions and everything, they had no other recourse than to rule the judge, make the ruling that they did make.
You mean the Privy Council
and the Court of Appeals?
Well, the Court of Appeal said no, that it was unconstitutional, and then that was taken on appeal,
right, by the Trinidadian government.
Who wants to impose this this bill,
and the Privy Council sided with the Court of Appeals.
Yes. Because the judges say that would be a blanket. It would be a blanket provision.
Prohibition on bail
for
infringes
everyone.
A number of the rights and freedoms. They added that a fundamental objection to the blanket prohibition of bail is that it treats all persons charged with murder indiscriminately and denies the possibility of bail, whatever the circumstances and however compelling the case for bail may be. As such, it operates in an arbitrary and potentially unfair and unjust way. So I understand that. So they're not saying that you shouldn't deny bail to murderers, but you can't. It shouldn't be a blanket thing.
But no bail for any murderer.
There should be discretion somewhere. Yeah,
because it would be a murder of passion.
Okay,
and with circumstances.
Okay, I want to read one more WhatsApp message that we received, and then I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well. Doc, this person says, morning OC, I wonder why the government does not have meetings in each constituency, those meetings that will give people an information on the pros and cons of land ownership. Says some of the options and some of the options they could explore rather than selling. Well, I mean, we do still have public meetings and stuff, but I think you're going to see less and less public meetings taking place simply because of social media and the influence that social media, has as well. But it's a good point, and the government doesn't necessarily have to do that. Again, to me, if we had advisory district councils, those advisory district councils could say, listen, in our area here, we see what is happening as far as land ownership and control is concerned, and we want to do something about it in our area as well. You could then get your local input that way.
How long have we been preaching now about the advisory district councils? Have you had the
I don't have the clock on it, Doc, but it's been, and we're going to continue to do so. We're going to continue.
Section 119 of the Constitution. Yes. How long have we asking for that to be implemented?
We're going to continue to hammer it home. Yep. So at some point in time, it will take track. It will.
You think so?
Yeah, it will. It will. It has to. It has to.
You think within this administration?
If not this one, then another administration.
Yeah. Then,
if you're around still, then you and I will then have to run for elected office. Just simply, if it's no more to say we're going to run for office, we're going to campaign, and whatever government we are part of, we're going to ensure that we have a law that is effective, that comes into force, creating advisory district councils. After that is done, you can have a by-election and replace us after that. That's all we want to accomplish.
That's all we want to accomplish, yes. Just 6 months.
Yes.
6 months.
Yeah. Doc?
Well, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come back on your show. It's one of the highlights of my week. To come to get your call in the afternoons or in the evenings to come on your show. I'm sure that your listeners appreciate what we're trying to do. It's very interesting to see how things are unfolding in our little country that time forgot. It's now that people they're now remembering us, and we're being remembered for the wrong things, for the wrong things. Yeah. One of the things that I am afraid of is that we Caymanians are not being allowed to participate in this. All Caymanians are not being allowed to participate in this great economic boom, this great economic miracle, and that is something that is going to hurt us in the end. And I hope that the people who are listening to us, the politicians who listen to us, will come up with some sort of national social policy, national social plan to help the Caymanians get back on their feet and to find their place again in the Cayman life. I hope that the Cayman diaspora will also have an input in where we are going, because they are an integral part of who we are. Because it doesn't matter how long we stay away, we are still Caymanians. And one of the things that I would like to see...
And who knows when they may have to run back.
And one of the things I would like to see is that perhaps we, instead of bringing people to do the jobs that they say Caymanians who live here do not want to do, perhaps we should try to entice those Caymanians who went away when there was nothing here. Perhaps we should try to bring them back from different countries, and because I think they have our roots in their system, and they are part of us. I think a lot of their grandparents' navel strings and great-grandparents' navel strings were buried here, and I think they understand us better than some people from Himalaya or some other country.
Thank you very much, Doc. We're way over the time, 2 minutes over the time, so no closing comments. We're going to just ask everyone to please be safe over the weekend, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman.